All right, we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Welcome to our August. The
Press the
second.
mic.
It's already the second week
Yay.
in August. Second stream in August. But welcome everyone. And who are we missing? Oh, Blarg isn't on yet. So far we have Neal, Stevo, John, Ook, and Blarg will be on shortly. So as we mentioned last week, this whole here comes Blarg. Hello, Blarg. We are just starting, and you're actually not late. We started, I think, like a minute early.
Yeah.
You're
You're
a little
kind of
bit
low there, Blarg. I
quiet,
can barely hear you.
but I can.
See if I can push up the volume.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's too much.
Any better?
Much better.
Yep, that's good.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so we were just getting started. I had mentioned before we went live that we'll pretty much go through the order that I had sent, and the whole idea is we just didn't want people to just end up doing the same thing, same verses, and that's why I had wanted everyone to let me know what they're going to cover. And I think outside of Steve-O, I got everyone. So I know you had a whole list, so we can try to select a few, whichever one you want, so that Steve-O has a chance for his as well. We'll see how the timing goes, how much time we have. I think
Yeah, I'll just do one or two if we're kind of run late.
Yeah, and or we'll see. I mean, maybe it won't take too long to go through some of these. But anyway, how has everyone been this week? Anything interesting going on?
My week didn't start off too well. Stomach problems and all that. They got better, but it was like one of those 24-hour bugs that just take you out for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, good week.
Yeah. It's been kind of pretty hot in the States.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been ridiculously hot.
And I live in South Louisiana. Ooh, boy.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still single.
What's that?
Still single digits most nights where I am.
Nice.
In Celsius, that is.
Oh,
Yeah, because single digits in Fahrenheit is a crispy evening.
Yeah.
But that's risk.
I mean, in the UK, it's cooled off a bit. It's we're still in the 20s, but it's
At least people who live in countries where they get a proper winter know how to burn wood in fires and heaters and sort of stuff. Australians have no fucking idea. We the owner of the place we're renting pulled down a picket fence, an old rotting wooden fence. One of the guys came over and said, "Oh, I'll have to come and grab this wood. It'll be great to burn." And I looked at him and go, "Oh," Lisa looked at him and went, "Oh, aren't they treated?" "Oh, no, that's all right. These ones aren't. These bits here aren't." All the crossbeams on the pet. You burn that shit, you're going to get at least, if it's over 30 years, you're going to get arsenic at least, because they're treated with arsenic to stop termites. It's fucking insane.
There have actually been people die from burning treated like copper's logs, like cut off pieces of copper's logs in a barbecue, and burnt that, cook food over the top of the smoke. Yeah, that's a nasty dose of arsenic.
It's at least people who have colds, who live with a cold all the time, know how to deal with it. But I'm having to shut the house up all the time when it could be open, because the wood smoke coming around is just so fucking toxic. Plus the stupid bitch next door keeps bonging on in the garage next to me, and I'm on enough drugs. I don't need to get high by secondhand fucking smoke.
What? Didn't you like call the cops or something? Or
They're
you are going
doing
to?
they've logged it as an intel call because honestly, the amount that she's smoking is ridiculous. I mean, she can bong on. A bong session can be about half an hour long. And 20, 30 times a day.
Damn.
Yeah, she did that. I mean, fuck.
Hey, Ook, if you want her to cut back, does that mean that you want her to trim the weeds?
Yeah. That's it. And it's good weed too. It's not skunk or anything. It's just, it doesn't.
At least she has standards.
Yeah. I went to get in the car earlier this week and went, oh, hang on. My vision's a bit funny and I'm swaying. Oh, fuck, I'm stoned again, aren't I?
Damn.
You're not really stoned until you want to lie on the floor and watch the fan go round and round.
Hey, that is some good television right there.
We got
It is, yeah.
in
watch.
Australia, we got the problem of random breath testing and random drug testing.
And also listen to an album of Primus.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Not that I know anything about that.
I could be done for drug driving without even knowing it.
Yeah.
It's fucking, yeah, there's no if, buts, or maybes. If you show a positive on the drug kit, you're automatically disqualified until the results of the blood test come back? Blarg, or can you drive like for 48 hours afterwards or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had my license taken off me.
Yeah, I've never, well, a couple of times when I was younger, but you know, you throw up on cops. You throw up on a motorbike, cops' feet, boots, and they tend to go. They look at you. I request you to. Oh, fuck off! I'm drunk. Take me to this lockup.
Just send me to the drug tank and get it over with.
Yeah, I did. I saw the lights, pulled over, opened the door, threw up, and looked down and went, "Oh, there's shiny boots." Oh, fuck me. But yeah, so I've been getting unwanted highs. Yeah, but she's got good stuff. So the cops are looking into it as a distribution point, maybe, because if she's buying that much,
Right.
she must be getting it from a So anyway, shit
Yes,
happens. But
I did discover that stuff is not good if you need to study. I went around to a mate's place once to do some work on an assignment that we were doing, and so we worked for a little while and go, oh, want a bong? Go, oh yeah, all right. And one of those. And next thing, we're in the bathroom with our hands in a bowl of hot water, twisting candles together because we're fucking idiots.
That must be some good shit.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Was the end of any uni work.
I'm curious as to what was the win there? Like, what were you trying to do?
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Always is.
Yes. Okay.
It always is.
we used to
I have a few stories from my uni days that basically start and end with, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, I don't have those kind of stories, but I do have a few stories back when I was in high school.
Nice.
I have still no idea how they got that stop sign down from the free stories we took it up.
Yeah.
That was when I was in Vancouver.
Wow.
We could not get. We had to take it back down the stairs, and we could not take it back down the stairs. It just would not go. And it was like, how did we get this up? Like, is it about being pissed that changes the laws of physics so that you can basically get?
That's right. Yeah.
It makes you superhuman. You become Superman.
Yeah, it was mad. It was like we had to hide it under the couch.
Oh, by the way, before we start getting into the Bible verses, I did want to say something about the comments from last week's video. Specifically, that one guy who I think, according to what I think, Ook, you were saying that he's actually Ed Gain or
Oh yeah,
Gain.
he is. He talks the same way.
Yeah. All the profiles that have that Mercedes with the blue racing stripe, you know, the big thick racing stripe, and then the thin
Oh,
blue white racing stripe,
okay.
they're all the same person, and that's Ed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But how did so you
Glenn,
just
Glenn.
recognized the profile picture?
Yeah, and I went looking through the files, and shit, there's about 9 of them. And hang on, he's using the exact same wording as Ed here a couple of times. I always slipped,
Okay.
and that fits Ed Bundy and whatever Glenn.
Yeah.
And his,
So he just like
ridiculous.
all of a sudden just decided to show up, and his comment here is ironically, high concentration of complete douchey losers.
Thank you for the compliment.
Well, I mean, it's just ironic that it's coming from him.
I know. I'm just.
I always
I-
aspired to rise to the level of douchey loser. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fulfilled my lifelong dream of
I think we now have the new name for the channel.
the douchey
The
losers.
douchey losers.
the League of Douchey Losers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess,
The
yeah.
theme
I guess
song.
that's what was the other one that we had. I think it came from maybe one of the other trolls from there.
Circus
Carnival
of
of
something,
Clowns
wasn't it?
for a while.
Oh yeah, Circus of what was it? Circus of
Oh, Circus of Sinners? Circus of Clowns?
Lies.
no.
No.
Ah, shit.
Oh,
I don't remember all
know.
that.
Yeah, and who was it from? Was it from Jim Edith or is it from someone else?
I thought that was Donkey Boy.
Could
No,
have been,
oh,
could have been the
maybe it
dance
was.
monkey.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if it's Donkey Boy, I hope maybe he can remind us who we are. But
Don't
for
worry,
now, I think
he
we
will.
can go with the douchey losers.
Did,
Of
did you
course,
have
that
a
does give
listen?
a whole new meaning to sliding into our DLs.
Oh,
What
I've never
what you-
understood
Oh,
why douche is a bad thing.
for
Yeah,
your
yeah. If you're like some juvenile who
Yeah.
gets titillated by things like that, but
Did,
He's now saying he never said that penguins didn't have feathers.
oh really?
It's hilarious.
oh, what?
It's like going, I'm sorry, it's on video. You can hear
Oh
it.
no,
Yeah,
wasn't it someone else? It was like a different guy who was talking about.
No, it's the
penguins
same guy.
driving.
same
Ed.
guy, and
Ed
his
is
reason-
Glenn. Ed is Glenn that we had on the live stream once.
the reason
Oh,
he
it
is?
didn't say that penguins
No, I
had
don't think
feathers
so.
was he didn't
Yeah, he's the same
learn
guy.
about it in college. Same guy.
The Alpha Bonds.
Wait,
Oh yeah.
that guy
Yeah.
that we had was
Yeah.
Ed? I don't
That was Ed.
Yeah.
that was Ed. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay, maybe. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
did you-
yeah. Sorry,
Did you listen to my suggestion for the theme song?
I did not. And also,
Oh,
with,
I love that. That was good.
Oh, I
Good.
missed.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
I
was
forgot
that?
to check it out.
Yeah, yeah. And the problem
It
is,
was,
it's not with the current. They've kind of limited so much things in StreamYard that they're kind of forcing you to get the paid for one. So there's like kind of limited way that I can't even like play my Monkey Boy thing.
Oh,
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's why,
no,
yeah. So
bastard.
that's why I can't do any of the intros or the outros.
No wonder.
So
Before
how
I
much
was
is the
able
paid
to
version?
do.
I was just about to ask that.
It's actually, I mean, if it was like a few bucks a month, I wouldn't mind. But it's actually, a little bit more than that. So, I mean, I'll have to kind of look into it. I might do it, but
Hey, QC, remember you can ask us.
Yeah, we'd be
To
well
help.
if you
well,
want.
no, it's just a matter of like I don't know if it's worth it. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, we
Yeah.
can talk about that later. But
Okay.
I want
fun.
to make sure we have time, so let's just kind of go through because I think we have a lot that
I will.
we
I
might
will.
spend.
I will gladly give over some of my douchey dollars.
We all would. Well, maybe not all, but
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can
I got
discuss
crypto.
that maybe.
everybody has
You
crypto.
can have some more
Yeah. Can
pots
you
of pounds.
can you?
Um,
I accept either the Trump or the Melania coins. So.
I don't have either one. Damn it.
All right. So let's just get started here. So I always like bring up this talking donkey thing whenever one of these Christians on Twitter when they do their kind of host drama and argument about atheism and Christianity and all that. No. Because at the face of it, it's just ridiculous. But the story is actually even worse. I mean, there's even more problems with the story, and it's obvious that it is just a story, and you know, just kind of all the sort of issues with it when you think of it in terms of what God is supposed to be, at least what Christians think what God is. It within this story, it just completely doesn't make sense. So the whole story, the background of the story is that, you know, there's Balak, king of Moab, and you know, he wants to hide Balaam, the one of the prophets, and he's not like a prophet of Israel or anything like that. He's kind of a separate prophet, but he wants to bring Balaam over to curse the Israelites, and what he does is he the king essentially tries to buy him. Okay, so Moab was in great dread of the people because they were so numerous. Moab was overcome with fear, and Moab says, okay, now let's go get Balaam to help us. And he summons him and asks him to curse the people. Since they're stronger than I, perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. So it's kind of weird, you know. He's kind of hiring this. I mean, it's almost kind of like a bad of the gods thing. But you know, this Balaam is supposed to have some magical powers to be able to help them fight. So after Balaam gets this message, apparently God comes and speaks to him, and says, and asks, "Hey, who are these guys?" And Balaam says, "Well, it's Balak, and he wants me to go and curse the people of Israelite." And God tells him, "Don't go. You will not curse the people, for they are blessed." You know, it's his people. So next morning, Balaam goes in, says, I can't do this because God came and told me, said not to do it. And so then the officials are going, okay, now, please do it, really do it. And I'll honor you. And says, okay, I'm going to give you like all this like silver and gold. So go and so, please go and curse them. And so, it's like basically Balaam wants to, sleep on it. And then God comes again. And this is kind of starting to be the funny part. So God tells Balaam, well, if they came to you, go with them, but just do what I tell you to do. But God is essentially giving permission to Balak. It's like, okay, no, go ahead, and sure, and if you know the rest of the story, it's kind of just like passive aggressive God, where it says, well, like if you have to go, sure, go ahead, go do it, whatever. And so Balaam just, okay, all right, so that God said I can go. And so he saddles up his donkey, and he has a couple of other people with him, a couple of servants with him as well.
Yeah,
so it's not just Balaam. Yeah.
Just let you know, John's back.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, John's back.
Sorry,
People are just
sorry, I
like,
didn't mean to cut
I'm
you
Yeah,
off.
I'm back. I dropped off.
all right.
I'm back.
Okay. Yep. No worries. All right. So, so Balaam, gets his donkey and he goes out. And then it's like, after God has told him to go ahead and go, now he's angry because Balaam went. It's like, well, why is he going? And so what he does is he sends the quote unquote angel of the Lord to go and kill him in the road. Even though Balaam's basically doing whatever, God gave him permission to do. And so the death angel gets sent out and he stands in the road, and apparently it's an angel where if you run into him, and the angel's invisible, but if you run into him you die. So the angel doesn't go and just kill you, doesn't just go and kill Balaam. He just stands there. And now the donkey can see this death angel, but Balaam can't. And it's apparent in the story that for whatever reason, God is letting the donkey see it, but hiding the angel from Balaam. So the donkey sees it and he turns it away. He turns off. And Balaam gets mad because obviously Balaam doesn't know what's going on. So he hits the donkey to get it back. And now the angel is now standing in a narrow path. And so he's just like standing there. And so because a donkey can see it, he avoids him and kind of scrapes against the wall. And Balaam's foot gets scraped because the donkey is trying to save it. And then Balaam gets mad and, strikes the donkey again. And now the angel's like going, okay, I tried to stand in a narrow road and the donkey somehow, helped Balaam get away. Now I'm going to stand in a road where there's like no room. So again, the angels, it's almost this like passive aggressive thing on the angel's side. It's like, I'm not going to go and actively kill you, but I'm just going to stand here invisible. And if you run into me, you're going to die. So that's how, I guess that's how he's going to, try to kill Balaam. But this time he's standing in the road where there's like no room. And the donkey just like stops because, if he kept on going, they're both going to die. So he just stops. And that makes Balaam angry because from his point of view, the donkey just like stopped going, and he hits the donkey again. So this is the third time, which is kind of interesting because like in a lot of these kind of stories, there's this kind of like, the number 3, things happening 3 times come up a lot. And it just happens a lot in stories. But anyway, so after the donkey gets hit the third time, the God just says, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the donkey talk. So God isn't going to just come and tell Balaam, hey, I know I told you to go, but I don't want you to go. And I tried to kill you, but, the donkey thwarted my will. And so I'm just going to tell you right up front, I don't want you to go. Instead of doing that, the God, right, this omnipotent God, says, you know what, I'm going to let the donkey talk because the donkey was obviously unjustly hurt. So I'm going to let him talk. And the donkey basically says, what have I done to you that you struck me these 3 times? And of course, in these kind of stories, animals talking isn't like anything strange. So Balaam responds to the donkey and says, well, you made a fool of me, and I would kill you if I had a sword in my hand. And the donkey basically, makes his case saying that, hey, I've been a faithful donkey for you. And I've never been in the habit of treating you this way. So why couldn't you figure out that something is going on? And Balaam is like saying, okay, yeah, you're right. And at that point, that God decides to open the eyes of Balaam. And that's when Balaam sees the angel, the death angel, standing there with the sword drawn in his hand. And he falls down on his face. And the angel says, why have you struck your donkey 3 times? I have come as an adversary because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned away these 3 times. If it had not turned away from me, surely now I would have killed you and let it live. So how is Balaam going to know this, right? How is he going to know that the donkey was saving him? And how was he going to know the angel that the God has hidden from his eyes. So it's completely unjust accusation that the angel is making. But of course, like, a lot of what's in the Bible, it's Balaam's fault, right? He says, I have sinned, for I did not know you were standing in the road to oppose me, even though the reason why he did not know is because God specifically prevented him from seeing this angel. Now, therefore, if it displeases you, I will return home. And then, again, this passive aggressiveness. It's like, it's okay. Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you to speak, which is exactly what he had said in the first time when he gave the permission for him to go. He had said, go ahead and go, but speak only what I tell you to speak. And so Balaam went on with go ahead. Were you going to say something, Blarg?
No, nothing coming from me.
Oh,
I was
okay.
mute.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was coming. It may have been just an echo. So that's like the base, most of the story. I mean, there's more with Balaam, but and he does go and has this discussion, and I think so Balak just does some sacrifices. Balaam doesn't actually, I don't think, go and curse the people of Israel. But this whole story of the donkey is not just a talking donkey that's ridiculous. It's the complete story. It's just hilarious. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Where to begin?
It's yeah.
You're right. The Old Testament God is strangely, perversely, has all the human attributes.
Yeah.
He's passive aggressive. He's blah blah blah, and yeah.
I mean, it's just so clear. These are just stories, right? Because the style is very similar to other stories during that time, and a lot of it is kind of like, even like if you are aware of like Aesop's fables, right? A lot of it is like that, with talking animals.
Yeah, I mean, the stories all, they're supposed to tell a message. They're supposed to say,
Yeah, exactly.
this is what you do, this is what you don't do. This is what happens if you do X or do Y or whatever. They're not meant to be, this actually happened. I don't think that started happening till, donkey's years later, to be honest. They're all basically, what's the word? Parables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not supposed to be literal. They're basically like going, we're going to set it in this period so you understand what's going on. But,
A little bit like the
message.
tortoise and the
And donkey is a weird freaking message to give someone.
a little bit like the
you can't trust God because he might change his mind,
Go ahead, Blarg.
I was just going to say it's a little bit like the tortoise and the hare. That's not a real story, but it's meant to tell a sort of a fable.
Yeah.
It's a fable meant to tell something else. But yes, then you go along and apply this overarching, the Bible is true narrative, and all of a sudden you've got to believe this shit.
Yeah.
There was an interesting discussion from Dan McClellan in a recent video talking about the difference between God of the Old Testament and God of the New Testament, and how in the Old Testament he's a person. He's characterized as a person who, will come and talk to you face to face. But in the New Testament, with the sort of growing sort of Greek philosophy, influence from Greek philosophy of gods becoming more and more, less person, more sort of just supernatural. You get that bleeding through into the characterization of the god over time. So as a result, the god is two different characters. It's just evolved over time, and between these two types of storytelling that you get in the Old Testament and the completely different view in the New.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like this, and there's a few stories, or quite a few stories, especially in the Old Testament, where it's very clear that it's not supposed to be literal, and even the Genesis and the flood story really shouldn't be considered to be literal. But when I bring up, oh, you guys believe in a talking donkey, the response isn't, well, that's not supposed to be taken literal because it's it's an allegory. Instead of that, what they say is, well, God can do anything, so how dare you not believe that God can make a donkey talk?
It's
Yeah.
the bizarrest thing because they go with the metaphor excuse all the time to rewrite the Bible to say whatever they want it to say, but in the obvious places where it's not meant to be taken literally, you're like, oh, but God could do that. You go, what is wrong with you? At least be consistent in the fact that the Bible contains metaphor. Like any moron can see that it contains metaphor. You're not going and harming the Bible by saying that it contains metaphor or fables or teaching stories that aren't meant to be literal.
The problem, though, when
Bizarre.
you have the problem though when you have literalists is that you have folks that come at this from the perspective that if it's sort of like pulling out a thread. Well, if this is allegory and isn't meant to be taken literally, where does that stop? And of course, then you have to start questioning, is anything in the Bible meant to be taken literally? So they see it as an all or nothing situation. That's why
it's
they
a
have
weak
to
point.
But
Yeah, it's a weak point because
I'm not saying that
I
they're
will say, but that's entirely from a sola scriptura point of view.
Yep.
My family, has had a lot of Catholic tradition come down, and I think Ook will, agree with a lot of what I'm about to say. And that was all a case of going. It heightened the fact that basically a lot of stuff in the Bible you'll find out isn't literally true, and if you're unsure what's true or not, that's where you go and ask your bloody priest. That's what the priests are there for. They're there to tell you the difference between, well, this is metaphor, this is parable, and this is, probably literally true, but we don't know yet. That sort of thing.
I mean, I still tell the story. When I got to first day of high school, the principal gets up there, the head Morris brother holds up the Bible and says, anyone who tells you that this book is to be taken literally, run away from them. We're here to teach you how to think, not what to think. And yeah.
It's a shame they can't keep to it.
Well, they lost quite a few, a couple of decent popes since then. So, yeah. I mean, I still am pissed off that Opus Dei is not still excommunicated.
Yeah.
You only have to look at the damage that they are doing to the world. Fucking crazy. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah,
So
no.
so I'll go to the next one. This won't take us long, but it was something that Joe Campbell had recommended or brought up. So this is about when I believe it's what God is telling Ezekiel to in regard to like a coming siege of Jerusalem, and that there will be a suffering of people. So he gives kind of these like sort of I don't know. It's kind of hard to understand. I'm sure there's some kind of I guess some biblical context to it, but he kind of talks about things like lying on the left side. Ezekiel has to lie on his left side for 390 days to represent the years of Israel's sin, and on his right side for 40 days to represent the years of Judah's sin, etc. But the verse I wanted to get to was, I think it starts with and it's about eating the having to eat certain bread prepared in certain ways. So he says, and you take wheat and barley, beans and lentil, millet and spelt, put them in one vessel and make bread for yourself. During the number of days that you will lie on your side, 390 days, you shall eat it. The food that you shall eat will be 20 shekels. And and he goes on, you shall drink water by measures. And it says on 12, Ezekiel 4:12, you shall eat it as a barley cake, baking it in their sight on human dung. And basically back in those times, dry dung was a source of fuel. And so this is what it means. It's not like saying put human dung in the bread, but you're going to bake it using human dung. And the Lord said, thus shall the people of Israel eat their bread unclean among the nations to which I will drive them. So he's kind of, it's like a punishment that he's, sending down. And Ezekiel says, Lord God, I have never defiled myself from my youth up until now. I have never eaten what died of itself or was torn by animals, nor has carrion flesh come into my mouth. So these are like this kind of the purity ritual purity, amongst the Hebrews, and so after Ezekiel says, he's objecting to the human dung, because within their ritual, any kind of exposure to human dung is considered unclean, and so that's when then God then says, okay, then he said to me, see, I will let you have cow's dung instead of human dung, on which you may prepare your bread. So the funny thing is, basically God says, you know what, I'm going to make things hard for you. And one of the things is I'm going to make it unclean for you, and you're going to have to use human dung. And then Ezekiel says, God, that doesn't sound right, because, what about ritual purity? And then God is like, then that's fine. I'm not going to have you use the human dung. You can do cow's dung instead. Which is just kind of like a bizarre way. It's like you're negotiating with this God in terms of the punishment that you're going to accept. And interestingly enough, there are kind of multiple parts in the Bible where there's such kind of negotiation that goes on. And one good example is with Sodom and Gomorrah, when God wanted to go visit Sodom and Gomorrah and bring down hell. But that's when the negotiation of, well, what if you find 50 righteous people or 10 righteous people, right? So there's that negotiation that happens, which is kind of bizarre, right, for an omniscient God to have, to kind of do this kind of negotiation. He would know that, Ezekiel is going to say, please let us use cow's dung instead of human dung. And he's going to know, well, if that happens, I'm going to agree to it. So he could just gone right away with the human dung. With the cow's dung. But yeah, anyway, that came from Joe Campbell. So if Joe's listening or watching this.
Yeah, sounds like bovine intervention.
Hey.
That's a good one.
That's the best one today.
So,
that's not saying much.
Yeah, that is a pretty low bar. Step up your game.
all right, so I'm going to bring up Job 2:3,
Yep.
which is, so John, you can. Oops, this Job up. All right. Let's go Job 2.
You're bringing it up, QC?
Yep, I'm bringing it
Okay.
up. Okay.
The Lord said to the accuser, have you considered... Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Lord said to the accuser, Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and turns away from evil. He still persists in his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him for no reason. So the story of Job starts with God and Satan basically just kind of chilling and talking to each other. And Satan says, well, the only reason why people worship you is because you give him all of these great things. Take away the great things, and they will curse you. See all of these people that curse you? They don't have nice things. So God basically agrees to a bet against Satan. So in and of itself, there are multiple reasons why the story of Job was, when I heard it as a child, it was one of the first real moves away from the whole Bible and God is moral kind of argument. Because here God says it outright. Satan is asking me to harm this guy for absolutely no reason. But I'm going to do it so that I can win a bet. Now, you could make the argument that, well, in the end, Job is fine and even gets rewarded more because he does end up sticking to his faith in God. The problem that I have with that argument isn't that Job comes out okay. It's that his entire family, his entire livestock is decimated, is destroyed, is killed for absolutely no reason. And on top of that, they are killed because of their association with a man who is being destroyed for no reason. So this whole idea that the God of the Bible is morally consistent and morally righteous, and this idea that this is where divine command theory really shows its logical and philosophical inconsistency. Because across the board, if you've got a deity, if you've got a ruler of the universe that can just do whatever they want, whenever they want, for whatever reason, on a whim, because they're bored and want to win a bet, then that means that there is no objective morality. There is no objective standard by which one can behave themselves. Because no matter what you do for your God is now going to turn around and can do whatever he wants to you. And in the point of the story where Job says to God, hey, what's up with all that? God's response was, were you there at the beginning of the universe? His response is, I'm God, I say so. And that is the final nail in the coffin. When your justification is because I say so, that means that you can change the rules whenever you want, you can engage whenever you want, in whatever behavior that you want, and all of your subjects, your creation, has to bow down. At that point, Job is now worshiping out of fear and not love. The story is wholly without any kind of moral consistency. And so that's why it makes me angry. Like every time you think about it for too long. So that's when you asked us to pick Bible verses that stood out to us or made us say, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. This is the verse that always floats to the top of my mind because it lays waste to any argument that there is an objective morality to the universe. By the argument that if God says so, therefore it makes it moral, that is a subjective, not objective standard. That's all.
So just FYI, in this particular translation, it says the accuser, but
Yes.
in a lot of translation it says Satan. Yep.
Yeah,
And that's because in the Old Testament, Satan isn't the same as what's in the New Testament.
No, quite often because it's the Satan. There's a the
Yeah.
in front of it, so it's the
Yeah.
accuser. So Satan wasn't a person. Satan was a job description.
Yeah.
So basically a little bit like a prosecuting attorney in a court case.
Yeah, it's sort of like the advocate.
Yeah, well, the opposite, the accuser, the one who's making the claim, and then you've got to defend against. So so it's their job to play the devil's advocate.
Yep.
Basically,
The adversary. Yep.
Yeah.
So Job has always been my most favorite and least favorite book of the Bible, just for the exact same reasons.
I think Job's also, is it the oldest book in the Bible as well?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like one of the earliest stories from the Old Testament. But the other thing is, like, just like in the donkey one, it's the idea, the modern idea of an omnipotent, omniscient God, omnibenevolent, just doesn't fit here, because why does God have to offer his servant Job? It's like he doesn't have to test Job. He knows. He should know, right? If he's omnipotent. Omniscient.
Like how can an omniscient being lose a bet? Like, honestly, why would you ever make a bet? What use do they have for
the advocate has to know this.
Yeah.
So it just, like, the internal logic of the story doesn't hold. And then again, on top of that, it's the fact that even if you accept the premise, you still are advocating for the slaughter of Job's entire family. They died not because of anything that they did, but association to a man who is the central character of a bet. Like, how is that moral?
Yeah, that ain't moral at all, because now it just shows how God is such a malevolent force. Just because he thinks that he's just because all powerful, he can just say and do whatever he wants, and people think that's moral.
Yeah. So it's just the whole morality of the Judeo-Christian God just falls apart right then and there.
Yeah, the idea of, like on the morality thing, everyone else within the story of Job are essentially used as an object to test Job. So killing, his entire family, his kids, and all the other things that's done to all those other people around Job.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just props. They're just things.
Yeah, it's almost like.
And go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was about to say it's kind of like God was doing his own inquisition against one man, just for kicks. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's nothing that all those other people did wrong.
It's going to bed.
Yeah. So Stone Bible Study mentions that it's actually two story. Was that? You kind of broke up.
What does random servant do?
Oh, that's
You're
bad.
kind of roboting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once more, John.
Okay, there's something going on with my connection.
There you go. Neal,
hold on. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Just no, you're good. Don't go away.
Now.
Okay.
It's working.
Excellent. Yeah. Just again, it just makes me angry every time I think about it too much. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a change.
Right. Yeah, but Stone Bible Study is saying that Job is actually two stories put together, and I think that's right. I haven't seen or heard Dan McClellan or some of those people don't talk too much about Job, and I just may not have seen it, but
he did mention it just in that same one I was talking about earlier. He mentioned Job as an example of the person that he was responding to being wrong, where the person makes an argument that the entire Bible has this meta-narrative flowing through every part of it, which is a story about Israel, and saying that Job comes from a time when Israel didn't exist, like it was before Israel. So so it can't be that it's the case, unless you go along and do some mental gymnastics to go and say, oh, but it's about the pre-Israel times or something that lead on to Israel, that sort of thing. So that's not specifically what he said, but he's he was talking about applying this this narrative over the top of the Bible, and then forcing interpretation of every element from that perspective. And you just, if you let each book just talk for themselves, you can't get that.
Right. And within the book of Job, there are a lot of Christians who will, claim, one part or the other is actually like some prophecy of Jesus, even though it's obviously not the case.
Yeah, he mentioned that as well. So it's a story of Israel and the prophet and the coming Messiah. And you go, there is nothing in there about the Messiah. It is not that. It's all local stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, within Job, there are kind of shifts stylistically, right? Where it does seem like it's kind of a different story. So there's this kind of the story, the folktale kind of portion of the of the Job story, and then all of a sudden there's like all these kind of like this poetry about God and how mighty He is, and all that stuff. So there is kind of like big shifts that occur.
I mean, it's supposed to boil down to faith being rewarded, isn't it? That's what it's supposed to come down to. It's like, no matter how crap it gets, if you have faith, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then
within Christianity, Job is used to kind of for people who are suffering, who are experiencing misfortune. It's like, how can someone who is such a firm believer in God be visited by all these like horrible things that happen to you? Like actually, like take the example of Joe Biden. How he like lost his children and his first wife. In very tragic ways, and that's where I think people of faith or Christians would look upon Job to basically say, you know what, it could be worse. God could have just like wiped out my entire family, my entire wealth, and given me boils or whatever. It could be worse. At least I'm not like Job. I mean, that seems like the story that a lot of times Christians will kind of go to with Job.
Yeah. I think there's also the it's got a different resonance among the Jewish community, because they're traditionally being persecuted quite a lot. And so from their point of view, it's just a case of going, you're going to get persecuted, but in the long run it's fine.
Right. All right, so the next one
crappy,
is
really.
It really is.
Okay. Good Omens did a good riff on the whole Job story.
You want to bring it up? Okay, that's fine.
So
I have the verses up in case.
Okay.
But
hang on, I'll bring up Ezekiel 23. Sure. Now, can we see that, or is it? Do you have to let me do something?
I can put it. No, I think you have to kind of adjust the dimensions so that it takes up more of the screen.
Oh, I'm still getting the greenness at my end. Damn it.
Oh, are you?
It'd be my settings. There'd be something blocked.
That could be.
Internet Safety Act, I tell you. I'll blame that. It's probably not that. It's something else. I have to reset.
How can a mother have a virgin bosom?
They haven't breastfed yet.
All right.
Yeah, I guess that could be. Yeah.
That's what I was told.
Is that all right? Everyone happy with that?
Can you adjust the dimensions of the screen that you're sharing? So that
Not
is not as big of a landscape.
no, I don't
Oh,
think
you can.
so.
Okay, then that's fine.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I thought I'd start at the fun part and then work backwards.
The fun part.
So here's the fun part, the bit that everyone just loved so much and lost it after her paramour was there, whose members were like those of donkeys and whose emissions were like that of stallions. You just go, anyone who says the Bible does not contain smut, you just need to talk about donkey's dicks and stallion cum. There it is, fun sentence.
There you go.
It's
Well,
it's a
so it but it's saying like that of stallions, right?
Yeah,
Not
but
that it is stallion.
yeah, they're not saying she actually had sex with donkeys. This is actually a metaphor inside a metaphor, which is just lovely, because
That's what she
this
said.
is yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, so I'll go back up the top. So yes, Ezekiel 23. This is Ula and Ulaba is the thing. So this is actually a metaphor about the lands of Samaria and Jerusalem. So Ula is Samaria and Ulaba is Jerusalem. And apparently there's a pun hidden in here somewhere as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so Ula means a hang on, where was it? It means a tent. The words, hang on, back up here. Yeah, Ula means her tent. Hang on, my wife's just turned up and the dog's decided to start barking. So, and he's very, very good at it. Yeah, so Ula means her tent, and Ulaba means my tent is in her. And tent also means, the word tent is the same as, what's the term for the
A vagina?
for a church in yes, of the church. So yeah,
Well, you went
so,
straight to
Well,
the
and-
you went straight to the body part, didn't you?
yeah, it's
Wait,
a,
and the church can kind of mean, women's spits.
yeah. What's also interesting is that in this case they. So Ula prostituted herself while she was mine. So in this story, she was married to God when she was a child. So yeah, because they were prostituting themselves in their youth. So when they prostituted herself when she was mine. So so that's Samaria, which is kind of a bit lovely. There's also Ezekiel 16, which tells exactly the same story in a similar sort of a way, but yeah, it's quite strange. But in this case, she doesn't become the bride of God until she becomes an adolescent. So I'll just switch over to share. Wait, hang on. Cut that one and I'll share Ezekiel 16.
So Samaria is still part of the 12 tribes.
Yeah,
of
it's
Israel.
also, it's Israelite. So Samaria, the Samarians are Israelites, the Good Samaritan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's still Israel. So, but one is southern Israel with Jerusalem as the capital, and the other one
Judah,
is
right?
Yeah, and the other, the kingdom of Judah with
Yep.
and then Samaria. So, but can you? I thought this one should be sharing my screen. I was just going to put it.
Is the supposedly the descendants of those who didn't go into exile during the Babylonian period.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
I can see
good to
this.
know.
They did go down, but again, it's the same sort of a story about Jerusalem and Samaria, and how yes, I picked you up, and it's essentially how God. It's a story about how God came along and saw these two these two kingdoms and said, I'll look after them, but they played with all of the traded and brought in information and the likes from all of the nations around them, like the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and the Egyptians. So that's the ones that they're whoring with. That's what they're basically trying to say. But it's absolute filth in the thing. So yeah, here again, you trusted your beauty and you prostituted yourself for
Wait, but
gold.
is this talking about both of them or just about all?
Yeah, for both of them. And then
Okay.
along comes the Assyrians and invade the northern kingdom of Samaria and basically destroy that. And then he's now looking after the kingdom of Judah. And in the story with the lusted after, so in Ezekiel 23, the rest of the story is you're going to be like your sister. Yeah, all the abominations of your prostitution. It's just an absolute doozy all the way down. But yeah, essentially, see, prostituted yourself with Assyrians because you're insatiable. It's just a doozy. And yeah, it just gets me
It's
that
basically the Bible saying, God, God says you're a slut, and that's
yeah,
why you're sinful.
yeah, you're meant to be insular and not even talk to the nations around you, let alone have anything to do with them. So yeah,
But
that's it.
it's mostly a story of God just being pissed off and
Yeah.
just trying to, paint it in like the worst way, I guess, within those times.
Yeah, and to do it, they basically use just the most wonderful story about how women are sluts and they shag horses and just shag and prostitute themselves to everything. And you go, yeah, that's the way I'm going to do my metaphor. Make women look bad because this is not a story for women. This is a story for men. So
But it's kind of weird that this is being told in this way, right? In this kind of
it is so
weird
strange.
story.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same one. See, your big sister is Samaria, who lived with the daughters to the north of you, and your little sister lived to the south is Sodom, and abominations and corruption, and yeah, it's the same story all the way through both of these, which is why I said I'll sort of look at both of them because yeah, for some reason they want to tell the same story twice.
In a certain way, I mean, like it's kind of like an entertainment, trying to, give history in a way, in this kind of entertaining way.
Well, it's certainly something. That's for damn sure. But yeah, and then they just keep digging in even deeper with this 23. Make the go and rewrite the fun story, and then it's the same thing. See sexual favors upon the men of Assyria, and then therefore I delivered you into the hands of her lovers, into the hands of the Assyrians. So and they killed her with a sword. So this is Ulba, the first one, Samaria, was killed by the Assyrians in this story. And then her sister saw it and went, I'm still going to keep doing it. So, works their way down through all the stories. It's, yeah. I will rouse again.
It's kind of like a porn parody of a movie, so there's this like they have like this separate dull history of what happened with Samaria and Judah, and now they have this like more this X-rated parody version.
Edward Penis Hands.
Semitic slut.
Or Geranal That is one of the funniest things that I just love those old style names of some of the porn movies where they just pay out, they just steal the idea of some movie. Some of those are so clever. Geranal just cracks me up.
The Flintstones parody is rather good.
Oh my god! I use that.
I mean, that's the only reason I watch those, for the parody.
Not for any other reason.
So yeah. So yeah, it's a so that's the fun story. Is this metaphor again? It's a metaphor, and yeah, when they're talking about the having sex with horses, yeah, they're so that's a metaphor inside a metaphor, because the person is metaphoric as well. So it's a beauty. So there we go.
All right.
That's
You
that's
wanna
that one.
go to your Second Kings
Second Kings, yeah. Second
Yeah.
Kings is
3:27.
Before you go there, Blarg, I actually true story. You know how you do poetry appreciation and all that shit when you get into high school. I had the Morris brothers pull up the Song of Solomon to do poetry appreciation.
ooh,
Yeah,
some
strange.
poetry in there.
Yeah, because it's a love poem, and a bunch of 13-year-old boys reading the Song of Solomon and having to dissect it in poetry appreciation was just. I decided I'd flag the rest of the semester, or Bible studies for that thing, because it was I couldn't keep my face straight. It was just guy, 13-year-old boys. The wind changed direction, you get an erection, and they're talking about donkey dicks and tits, and it was just hilarious. The weird shit they do.
Yeah,
Back to you.
let that one come through, or I don't know why it's not coming through.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay, so this is one of the three, I suppose, human sacrifices in the Bible. So pretty well everyone's heard of the daughter
Wait,
of
are you including sacrifice of Jesus?
Yeah, that's the third.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah, that's why I said there's two. We'll call it three, because that's Jesus over in it. But yeah, everyone knows of has heard of the story of Jephthah, or Jephthah's daughter, and there's a lot of apologetics about, that's not God saying that He accepted the sacrifice. That was Jephthah offering it without God asking for it, so therefore God didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but when he offered it, God immediately made him win the war that he was losing. So if God didn't want the sacrifice, he could have said no. But clearly,
Why don't you give a little bit of the background on this?
So that was just a little background over on Jephthah. So there's a lot of discussion of people who that the Bible doesn't contain human sacrifice, and it most definitely does. Clearly the entire framework of the resurrection is a story about a sacrifice. God still requiring a sacrifice in order to change his mind about a tantrum he threw, a few thousand years before. But there are two others. So Jephthah's one, and then this one here in Second Kings is the other one. But this one's more interesting in some ways and less known. So essentially it's a war between Israel and Moab. Now, Moab was in a nearby nation that didn't worship Yahweh.
By the way, Moab is the same as with the Balaam story.
Yeah,
Was the
same
land of
place.
Moab. Yep.
So Moab comes up a fair bit in the Old Testament, actually. But so they sent up or put together a big army to go and defeat Moab, and God said in here that He will deliver it. So the king of Moab said, "Yeah, I'm not going to be your vassal state anymore. Israel, you can go and piss off." So Israel wasn't happy about that. So they got all their people together and said, we'll head on down and beat them up. And somewhere in here it says that Elisha, where is it? Some of these three kings.
I think what's confusing in like some of the old story is kind of all the different alliances that happen with those countries there. Like Moab is like a vassal state to Israel. There's also Judah, and there's a Edom and all these other countries. So like within the story, there's this like different countries sort of allying itself together.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing too. So it says, "For thus says the Lord, you'll see neither wind nor rain, and you'll have plenty of water to drink as you travel. So your army will be fine, and it's only a trifle in the sight of the Lord, for He will also hand over Moab to you." So at the beginning of this, it says God will give you Moab, but essentially in this era, in this place. Yahweh was a local war/storm deity. Chemosh was the god of Moab, who had sort of control over the areas where the Moabites worshipped. And then, so the same thing was all the way around. So when they sort of talk about there's another place in the Bible where it talks about Israel being the gift from the Most High to Yahweh, is being his inheritance. That's really what they're talking about. All the gods get a piece. Yahweh gets Israel. Chemosh gets Moab. So anyhow, in this case, the Israelites and their allies head out of the Yahweh-controlled area, and Yahweh saying, yes, I'll look after you. I'll hand you the city," and heads on down to heads on over to the Moab city, and proceeds to wallop the living crap out of the Moabites. So the Moab is getting absolutely destroyed by them. So King of Moab saw the battle was going against him. He took 700 swordsmen to try and break through opposite the King of Edom, but they could not. They're right, they were getting beaten in it. So what he did is he took his firstborn son, who was to be his heir, and offered him as a burnt offering upon the wall of the city. And a great wrath come upon Israel, so they withdrew from him and returned to their own land. This is exactly the same thing that happened in the story with Jephthah. The offer was made, and God accepted it, and immediately handed the victory to the person making the offer. In this case, however, this is Chemosh, not Yahweh. So this is a really difficult one for Christians to make an argument there's only one God. So they have to go along and say, interpret it as God was so disgusted he left. And you go, well, that makes no sense. He promised that he was going to end.
So God rage quit.
Rage quit
the war.
Yeah. That only possible way you can make an argument about this that is not God accepting an offer from the so essentially you got three options. One is the one I discussed, which is Chemosh is the ruler of this, is the god of this land, and Yahweh's out of his depth. So when Chemosh stepped in, Yahweh was handed his ass. Another, so if you don't want to go with Chemosh being the god and doesn't exist, well, in that case, the king of Moab must have offered the burnt offering of his son to God, to Yahweh. And you just go, okay, well, in that case, Yahweh accepted the offer from the king of Moab and said, yeah, that's all good. In that case, I liked what you did there so much, I'll let you win, and left. Or he rage quit. So however you look at it, you got a problem. This is why I thought this one is such an interesting story, because it proves that there are multiple gods in the Bible, and that they're at least as powerful as the God Yahweh. Because yes, in this case, he kicks Yahweh's ass back to Israel.
I think some would say that it's ambiguous that what great wrath means, even though if you kind of read the text as is, it's clear what happens, right? This sacrifice is made, and then it essentially, kicks out Israel.
Yeah, they withdrew and returned to their own land. They didn't win. They didn't get a victory. They didn't get the victory that God promised.
Right.
Also, if God was omniscient, why would he promise something he knew was not going to happen? That's something of a
and
problem.
I think Dan McClellan has like a video on this as well. The idea of like the gods have kind of their own domain. So within their own domain, they're sovereign. But
that's
outside
right.
of it, they can be beaten.
Yeah, and that's exactly why, this sort of story is telling the thing about piss off back to your own land. This is not your land. So when Chemosh stood up and finally got involved, Yahweh didn't stand a chance.
And the thing is, like, a lot of times history is written by the victors, but this is where, the Israelites or whoever, the Hebrews, they are writing this story, right? They're writing the story to explain what probably is like a very public defeat. And their story is that the other side, made a burnt offering. They sacrificed greatly, right? The king gave his firstborn, which is a big sacrifice, right?
That is
for the king.
Can give,
Yeah. So they're
even
kind of saying, we lost, but it's only because they, killed their first son.
They cheated.
Yeah. I guess I could say it's cheated, but it's kind of like to explain away, right, to their defeat.
Yeah, the already big God was cheating along the way as well, because he's like, it's not going to rain, and we're going to make sure you had plenty of water in the water holes. So I'm going to be there helping you win, and then get there and you go, oh shit, I got no power over here. Bom bom.
Yeah, but again, this is really one of the kind of many places in the Bible where it's clear that God is not the only God.
That's right. He is not sovereign. He's only sovereign of his own land. And as a result, and then you can see essentially the exaggeration. Every time you tell a tale, it gets a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And essentially this God, who was originally the Canaanite storm god, became bigger and bigger, and they kept telling the story about, no, he's not just our God, he's the God of everything, he's super powerful, and basically just inflated his ego through to the point where now he's the God of everything, and as a result, the old stories no longer make any sense.
Yeah. By the way, I think I got your verse confused with Neal, because Neal is going to be talking about the Jephthah story. Jephthah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right then. So we'll get the other bit of the story of the for those who aren't as aware of Jephthah.
Yeah. So let's go to, actually the first one was the story of Lot. What was the Genesis 29, right? Genesis. So Genesis
19.
Oh, is it 19? Okay. I may have put the wrong one. And then and it's interesting because there was a discussion of Sodom I was having recently, but I'll let you, let me just do this so that we're here. Okay. 19. Okay. So let me know. You can go ahead, Neal.
I mean, it's mostly towards the latter half of it. So, Sodom and Gomorrah, got destroyed because all the men were sinning, pretty much. And
Oh, and there, I think so. Dan brings this up multiple times. Like the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah
well,
are
yeah,
destroyed
the reason for the
isn't because
sin
of the
is
homosexuality.
no, it's just because they weren't good for the, they weren't good hosts, they weren't good guests, they weren't, etc., etc.
It was a
and the
way to
angels
kind
had,
of display power over these
Yeah.
strangers.
and God sent down his angels to find a righteous family, and they had a lot of trouble finding anyone who was righteous. And this
Again,
is the
God should
omniscient
know,
God,
right?
by the way.
God-
He
yeah,
should
the
know
omniscient God.
who's. But but the angels couldn't find anyone. They kind of found Lot and gave him a bit of a warning. So he and his family escape and survive the whole devastation.
Well, and by the way,
except-
like this is such a troubling part. It's like they're coming after these angels, and Lot is like going, you know what? You can have these two daughters, and they're virgin, so you can have them. I mean, that's
Yep.
not what a
And,
father
I
would
mean,
do.
But that actually reflects back on what happens later after he and his daughters have survived, but his wife hasn't. And his daughters decide, well, all the men of our town are dead. Let's sleep with Dad. Not let's go on to the next town
right,
and
right.
find some good men that we can have for ourselves. Let's get Dad drunk, and then we can sleep with him. Let's commit all the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah ourselves. But that's fine because, Lot was the righteous man of the family. And, it just struck me that basically,
Wait,
they
we're
talk about
getting
God's
up to
righteous
now.
Sodom
We're
and
talking about
Gomorrah.
Moab again.
Yeah, because
Moab-
that's where Moab and Ammon came from. It's basically
Yep.
Lot's daughters are basically the mothers of each nation, because they slept with their dad. It's kind of a weird message to send to people, really, in my view. Especially if you want to, bring up that it's about homosexuality, which, really isn't. But if you want to bring up that arc, then you've got to say, oh, incest is better. It's better to have incest than it is to be gay.
Not only that,
Well,
but
it's you would call it
It's
wincest.
non-consensual incest because remember they had to get
Yeah.
him drunk.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they basically rape their dad.
Yeah, it's like
Pretty
so.
So rape and incest.
Who are the good guys in this story again?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, this is the righteous family.
Yeah, this is the righteous family. We should point out
Yeah, there you
this
go.
is the righteous family. Okay. And they're not even that, and they're only considered righteous because the angels got confused.
So
Seems more
actually,
to
it
me-
is kind of interesting that these daughters were offered up by his
Yeah.
their father.
Yeah.
So,
So-
maybe
so
not a
Lot-
good
yeah.
relationship.
Lot offers them up, and they repay him by raping him. So,
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Dad.
which is
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
Yeah,
it's kind of
it makes sense that that they're his daughters because there's a lot wrong with them.
yeah. But I thought this story kind of paralleled the second one, which is the judges. What about Jephthah's daughter?
Yeah. Let's bring. What was it? It's Judges.
Oh,
what was it?
Judges 11. I've noted down.
11.
I think it's 11.
Okay. Oh yeah. Jephthah.
Yeah, which is basically.
Good old son of a prostitute. It's always a virgin or a prostitute, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, the misogyny's thick in this.
no
the
one
only
has a
two
normal family in these stories. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like Disney. It's like all the parents are dead.
Oh, I didn't realize this is where Gilead comes from.
Oh yeah, Gilead is fun. But his whole thing is basically, I'm gonna make a promise, and I'm gonna go around, and if it succeeds, I'll do this great big sacrifice to basically show my my trust with God, show my faith in God. And
Wait,
his
isn't it
sacrifice
kind of weird? I mean, the thing is, like, if he's going to offer up whoever walks out that door, he was planning on doing human sacrifice to begin with.
It kind of, he knows that basically somebody that he likes is going to get done for.
I've heard someone try to argue that he thought maybe it was going to be his dog.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too.
Serious?
I'm going to sacrifice my
I should
dog.
point out
That
I've
is
had
not
somebody
no,
what
no,
I
no.
You think it is.
I think that's
they tried to
confusing
argue,
with like.
I knew somebody tried to argue that it was going to be one of his slaves.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
So that
Which
actually makes
it
better
so much
sense.
better.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a human sacrifice then, it's a chattel sacrifice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, except chattel slavery didn't exist in the Bible. Oh, no.
No. You misunderstand. It's not slavery like you think of slavery. It's a different kind of slavery.
Yes, it's a good slavery.
Yeah.
But I found
the kind where you
it,
get the kind where you get non-consensually sacrificed to a raging sex mob.
but it kind of contrasts nicely with Abraham and Isaac, in that God tells Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, and then goes, "Oh no, don't. That was just a test." And yet he allows Jephthah's daughter to basically be aware that she's going to be sacrificed for a month, and she's basically not very happy about it. And then she's sacrificed. It's like, freaking hell. None of this, like, come down, go, no, mate, this is a test too. This is a test. You are committed to me, and I let you in, and, I'm not going to let you kill your daughter. But no, dead. And that was the price they had to pay.
I mean, so Shamash comes up again here too.
They're all related, aren't they?
Yeah. It seems like Shamash and Yahweh had a lot of kind of run-ins.
Bitter rivals?
But I mean, one of the apologists would say about Jephthah is that the wife wasn't really, the daughter wasn't actually sacrificed. She was sent to an upstate farm. She's not really dead.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Like
lots
the
of
dogs,
fields for running around.
Cattle reference.
Yeah, I mean they really do say that she. I think she just they say she just lived as a virgin or something, or as unmarried for the rest of her life.
Get thee to the nunnery.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, she lived for a virgin for the month that she was allowed to before she was killed and sacrificed. I mean, that was quite clear in the text. It was like,
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's a vow. If you give me the Ammonites into my hand, it says then whatever or whoever comes out of the doors of my house to meet me. Oh, so it says to meet me. So
yeah.
It's a human being.
So somebody's going to greet him, yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody's
it makes a bit of a mockery of the idea that it would be a slave or a pet, because you're like, yeah, your slaves wouldn't tend to greet him, except no, they're a part of they're a part of your family. You go, yeah, well, at least the female ones are. Yeah, they're certainly being used as part of the family.
I often wonder if it had been a son who'd come out to him, how that story would have gone down compared to Isaac. Would that have been?
God would have said, "Okay, all right, you don't have to."
You win. You're all good. Don't start.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get from that story. Is basically, if it'd been a son, he would have been excused having to make the sacrifice. But it's his daughter.
The daughter was the only child, so he had no son.
So he was screwed.
Even worse.
Yeah, it would have been different maybe if he had 10.
Or get 7 more like Job. I don't know. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sacrifice 1, I'll give you a few more. How you like that?
Turn them all into salamanders.
Talk about going home. Talk about leaving with the home prize.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, this is interesting. She said to her father, "Let this thing be done for me. Grant me 2 months so that I may go and wander on the mountains and bewail my virginity, my companions and I."
What's
I mean,
companions?
technically, I don't know. I mean, like during the 2 weeks, she could go and sow her oats, or I guess.
well, I mean, yeah,
she
she could be going through the mountains and shagging everyone she meets. It's like we don't know.
Being she's a girl, she'd be getting plowed, not doing the sewing.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, so going out and getting plowed. So,
Hey, and if she gets pregnant, that would have screwed up the sacrifice. She wouldn't be allowed because you couldn't count them
well,
properly.
except the Bible is okay with abortion. So, all right. So,
Depends how far along she is.
let's go over to Ook. Which verse would you like to start with?
There was some discussion in the chat earlier that we might end up having to make this a 2-parter.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that because I know Ook actually had quite a bit.
Yeah, and
there's some
I'm always
good
happy
ones.
to add the abortion for next week.
The
as
entire
well.
Old Testament and then the New Testament.
Right. Has anybody picked the passage about God hardening the Pharaoh's heart?
Oh, that's a good one too.
No.
No.
I didn't pick that one because that was pretty used too often. I'm gonna try.
Still, it's one of those parts of the Bible where it very clearly lays out just God playing by His own rules, but there is no consistent morality.
That is true.
And as a direct result of that, all of the firstborn sons are slaughtered. So it's another situation where you have this mass homicide on people that literally had nothing to do with the cause of their death. They didn't sin. They didn't anger the Pharaoh. They're just caught in the wake of a god throwing a temper tantrum.
But at least it's not a bear.
That's true. That's true.
So, Blarg, what is the punchline? How do you teach a bunch of kids about God, who He is and what He does?
Gather them all in a classroom, then never show up.
Nice.
Apparently, I couldn't type "gather them all in a classroom." That kept getting
what?
Failing to
Really?
post. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my.
bizarre.
They probably. I don't know.
That's mental.
I think we all enjoyed that early one too. Joke with the abstinence makes the church grow fondlers.
Yes, that
Oh,
was
no, I didn't see that one. Oh my!
I saw that and I went,
gosh.
"Holy shit! That's one of the best puns of all time."
I am going to create a situation where I get to use that line tomorrow. I don't care what the context is.
Actually, that did come up with Trump when he was like wandering the roof. He's as the fondler on the roof.
Oh no!
The other one is like diddler on the roof,
Yes.
Yeah.
The diddler on the room.
but it could be fondler.
I got a couple of ones here. We've already touched on slavery and going into Genesis, all the bullshit, but it's Leviticus, where yet again God contradicts himself. Leviticus 19:33 to 34.
How dare you.
Love and treat the foreigners living among you as you would your fellow Hebrews. But in the book before, he's saying you can go and make them slaves. And if you were to treat them the way that you should treat your fellow Hebrews, let them go after 7 years. That one's, yeah, it's just, that's one that not many people bring up, is the contradiction in the slavery laws between Genesis and Leviticus. It seems a complete contradiction to me, that.
What isn't there a verse about what the priests should be wearing, and it's all mixed fabric?
Yeah.
Oh, I seem to recall that one as well.
So you got Leviticus talking about you're not allowed to wear mixed fabrics, and yet the priests are told specifically you have to wear these mixed
No,
fabrics.
I think you can't. Like the lay people can't wear mixed fabrics because it's reserved for the priests.
The priest robes have got the washing instructions on it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, so let's make this
Cut it there.
second part. This was pretty fun. So Ook had like a bunch of them, so we can go through his first, starting next week, and then that'll give Steve more time for his.
Yeah, I want to kind of clean up my understanding while I was actually reading. So yeah, give me a little bit more time on that. Thank you.
Oh, that'll work.
I'm just surprised that Ed never turned up. All Flojo.
Yeah.
Oh, that means I win. I win.
Yes.
No!
Son of a bitch.
Damn it!
It's our version of waiting for Godot, waiting for Flojo.
Waiting for Flojo.
Yeah, I'll give him a little spoiler to see if he wants to turn up.
Oh, I've heard this one. What's the difference between a Catholic priest and Woody from Toy Story?
Yes. You're actually going to show your face for him. Yes.
Woody goes when a kid enters the room.
Derp.
Oh, John.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that one.
Craig has a good one.
I think I'd rather talk to Flojo than Ed.
Oh,
Yeah, Ed,
That's
Ed
brilliant,
is
Craig. I love that one. That's good.
oh.
Good show. Good show.
All right. Okay,
This was a lot
sounds
of fun,
good.
guys.
So, well, thank you, Tilting. Thank you for Craig. Thanks, Tuna Man. I think that's it for everyone in the live chats.
Yeah, by the way, just super quick, I just want to point out Tuna Man's joking game is in the comment section has really stepped up. He's got some hysterical ones.
Oh, don't try the Catholic AIs. It's
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of people doing the AI
I
stuff.
spent about an hour and a half waiting for one answer from it.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
It was just, I had to prompt it. I had to keep prompting it. It's just horrible.
I wonder if the guys that are
like
I think Matt did one, Justin did one, and I think
That's what I saw,
another
yeah.
person did. I think
Hang
maybe
on.
if you pay for the, maybe
Hang
there's
on.
like a paid version.
Did I not? Am I
That sounds like the
recalling
Catholic
wrong?
Church, doesn't it?
But
Yeah.
did not one of the
Yes, Blarg. We see you.
last three popes do a papal bull about how AI is a danger to humanity or something, and it shouldn't be used?
It
I hadn't heard
sounds
about
like
that.
something the Catholic Church would say.
I'll have to go back through my newsletters and have a look there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, it seems like
I'll have the answer for you
it'll be
next week.
satanic.
Yeah, I'll have the answers for you next week.
It's beginning to sound like Dune now, you know. Thou shalt not make a machine who thinks like.
That's right.
Oh man. Yes, that was the real Blarg, Tuna.
Yep, little
Interesting.
teaser there for Florida Gump.
All right, the real Blarg. Okay. Well, what else would it be? I guess you could have like AI kind of create an avatar for you.
Yeah.
So, and there's Ook.
You've
I
already
didn't
seen
know
my
you had
face,
that
so I don't have to
little
show it
beard.
again.
All right, Duke.
Oh,
We
You're
can't
on
hear
mute,
you
man.
because you're on mute.
That's with me
But we-
beard folded up in thirds.
Oh, damn.
Oh
That's a
wow!
pathetic beard, Ook. Honestly, I went to JCar yesterday and saw a dude with a beard that went down below his groin.
Damn.
Oh,
And I looked at that and I said to him, damn, that is a commitment to a beard.
That is strong beard game.
I cannot grow a beard that I can grow a long, but it will not grow down.
oh. And
That's Zed
I
said
don't
top
happen to have
game,
any
that
teeth
is.
in either. So, if you're riding a motorbike, remember a full face one.
Ooh. By the way, Tilting, they don't look like how you imagine because they're in Australia. So imagine them upside down.
Put your thing upside down and then I'd be right.
That's right. All right. Sounds
That
good.
works.
Oh, see, now that's
100%
exactly what I was imagining.
Exactly what we're looking for.
That's what we think it looks like.
You're
All
all
right.
a good bunch of mongrels.
All right, you
All right.
douchebags.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. So we'll do this next week, part 2.
All right,
Guys, I'll be ready.
Right.
Bye.
Indeed.
All right. See you guys
See you
later.
guys.
See you,
Have a
everyone.
good one.
Bye.